The best player for the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant, has been the target of criticism in recent months, particularly following his 2 NBA suspensions for various off-court infractions. That doesn't concern the young, talented guard, though, as he knows that's just part of what it takes to play in the NBA. Morant wants to start again after a few difficult months. He has been playing excellent basketball in his first few games of the season. An away game against the New Orleans Pelicans 10 days ago marked Ja Morant's season debut. He's played in 5 of the last 6 Grizzlies games, 4 of which have been won by Memphis. He says it may take some time to get into a groove, but he is currently averaging at 26.8 ppg and 5.4 rpg and 8.8 apg. The Grizzlies have lost their past 2 games, including 19-12 loss against the LA Clippers at Crypto.com Arena, 106-117, following 4 straight victories with Morant starting for the team. Memphis, which has only won 10 of its first 31 games and 4 of its last 10, has been suffering since early in the season due to chemistry problems and injury concerns. The Grizzlies are behind the Houston Rockets 15-15, who are in the 10th place by 5.5 games. Now that Ja Morant is back in the starting lineup, the Grizzlies will try to turn things around and win the series. Memphis is one of the league's most talented teams, and if they get some confidence, they ought to be able to challenge for the playoffs. When they play the Sacramento Kings, who are now 5th in the West with 18 wins and 12 losses, they will try to end their current 2-game losing skid. The Western Conference remains just as competitive as it was at the start of the NBA season in October, with the new year rapidly approaching. The Grizzlies sit 9 games below 500 with the Suns, Warriors, and Lakers ahead of them, despite being 4-0 since Ja Morant's return from suspension on December 19. Do you think they have a chance to make the playoff? The Warriors are currently essentially a one-man show, while the Lakers are always a LeBron-rolled ankle away from collapsing. Though we wouldn't be shocked if the Grizzlies didn't make some teams sweat given how explosive Morant looked, it doesn't mean they have an easy route to play in round. The Grizzlies still have a lot of games remaining in the season, so they can catch up. After serving his punishment, Morant seemed to have recovered quickly over the course of 4 games. His averaging career highs in points 28.8, field goal percentage 50.6%, and assist 8.5. Although the sample size is tiny, the Grizzlies have a good chance of making the playoffs if he continues this way and another team struggles. Though it passes through the play-in, the trail is even more rutted than its quicker run-in with Ja would imply. They have one of the better schedules thus far, but Steven Adams is still sidelined due to surgery that might terminate his season. Tyrus Jones is still in Washington, and Brandon Clark will not return from his Achilles injury until at least the All-Star break. Once the initial thrill of his comeback has subsided and the rigors of the season have worn off the youthful legs a little, we need to watch Ja Morant. Although he is improving his scoring, so that at least lessens the vulnerability to injury, and he still doesn't score simple baskets. Everything is a high energy, and that is hard to sustain. Our main concern is whether he comprehends the reason behind his absence from the first 25 games of the season. His supporters have turned into pretzels, justifying his recent celebration of a victory over the Pelicans, which include a pistol-mimicking dance as a nod to his New Orleans heritage, making them seem just as stupid as Ja would. There is no assurance Ja has seen his last ban if he doesn't understand that doing anything that may be connected to weapons is daring Commissioner Adam Silver to come down hard on him once more. Morant will not give in to the demands of his most vocal detractors, which include docile humility and a surface-level adjustment that will allow them to claim the young man gets it now. It's not for me to argue whether or not Jared Lettner made a very brief gesture with a gun after his game-winning dunk against the New Orleans Pelicans, the team's third dramatic comeback since Morant's return, or if Lettner was just making fun of the crowd by performing a well-known local dance. Morant will talk trash and dance after game-winning shots. Is it preferable for Morant to avoid creating any ambiguity? Of course, the league has not released a statement suggesting that it's apathetic. T, the father of Morant, is still standing and applauding from the court. T. Morant stated that last week on Sirius XM NBA radio that there have been no altercations made by the family to Morant's inner circle. Morant is not going to kick his father out of the courtside seat or cut off his boyhood buddies. Could you please? Does it really matter? What counts is whether or not Morant and his inner circle sees the actions that complied the NBA to punish him for 25 games. That is a significant expense for both Morant and the team he is meant to lead. The Grizzlies showed everyone that they were expecting to be in 4 games with Morant. Morant's sickness prevented him from playing in Memphis' lopsided defeat to the Denver Nuggets. They are 10-20 as it is. In order to get 500, where the number 10 Phoenix Suns now sit, they must go to 31-21. It is conceivable. Error and injury margins are nil. No club can punt a whole season because it's too young and too good. It will be Morant's fault if this year turns out to be a waste. That stain won't go away. A shift away from phones and cameras occurs. It appears when something is absent. Only time will tell what is going on if or not Morant stumbles once again. Finding a way to change things without sacrificing the confidence that defines Morant's identity on the court is a difficult balance to achieve. He is impregnable there. The Grizzlies require Morant's smug, self-assured attitude that he can defeat anyone at any moment. It gives them more confidence. They make assumptions about his career. They think Morant can lead them to areas where they are unable to go without him. The most admirable aspect of Morant's rockstar status on the court is his inclusivity. He gives the ball up when he sees someone else needs it more, cuts hard, and takes the initiative. He also waits for teammates to run alongside him. His defense needs improvement overall. Even after spending so much time away, and with Memphis losing so many guys in the rotation, Morant gave the Grizzlies a cohesive offense unit right away. Their identities returned to them in an instant. This was Team Floater, therefore their speed, free throws, rim shots, corner threes, and accuracy on floaters all increased significantly. He made every iconic Morant play in a week. Upon his comeback, Morant's game-winning shot was one of the most unbelievable ones when different portions of his body seemed to be moving at different speeds and in different directions. Driving left, he twisted right, leaning to his left in midair, while his defender continued to fly the opposite way and landed a floater. He is incomprehensible. Morant's rapid direction shift when he zooms ahead and then spins away for his step back makes him look like one of those frenzy frame pictures when the fast-moving subject, car, sprinter, whatever, expands into a blur in all directions. Even though it should be the best course of action, some defenses are afraid to duck screens for Morant because of his speed, since they know he can outrun them to the location beneath the pick. Highlight blocks, massive screening, and rolling for alley-oops such as a feed for a point guard. And aerobatic floaters launched on the way down have all previously been witnessed. Without Morant, Desmond Bane elevated his level of play and is now prepared to bring it all in together. Before Morant came back, Jaren Jackson Jr. discovered his defense line. The Grizzlies were ready for a lengthy run of success with that trio and plenty of selections to acquire another impact player just a year ago. They still control all of their future first-round selections and some swap rights, but they traded those picks along with Tyus Jones, whose contract was about to expire for Marcus Smart. Their trade flexibility may be restricted in the next 5 years due to potential tax and second apron difficulties, but this will depend on a number of factors, including the size of the cap climb. Their most recent first-round selections haven't worked out as expected. The majority of their moonshot attempts to add another heavy-minute wing, such as Ziaire Williams over Trey Murphy III, Luke Kennard, and Justice Winslow, have fallen short. However, this is a clever front office, and the Grizzlies make sense again now that Morant is back. That's all, guys. What do you think about Ja Morant's return? Do let us know in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more information.